Happy New Year all, and welcome to another Hengist Wild Camps. Well, I'm in Edale car park on a very snowy and cold day, and I'm going up Kinder Scout. This is the first week of 2025, and it's my first camp of the year. So I'm going to get my kit on, get my bag on, get my gloves on, and then I'll speak to you then. Well, it's just gone 1:30. I've got all my kit on. I haven't put my gloves on yet, but I've got my long johns underneath. I've even put an extra t-shirt on, and I've brought crampons, just in case it's a bit icy while I'm going up. Right, well, I'm going to walk up to Edale, and I'll probably speak to you when I'm at the bottom of the knoll. So I'll plod on for now. Well, I've just stopped at the bottom of the knoll to get my trekking poles out. I've only come up there, I'm knackered. It takes it out of you in this snow. That's why I thought I'd get a bit more traction with my trekking poles. I've not put my crampons on yet. Doesn't seem that bad, it's not icy. I'll see what it's like when I'm going up there. Well, now I've got my breath back. I'll get my gloves on, grab my trekking poles and plod on up there. And I'll show you some views along the way, and I'll speak to you in a bit. Whew. Well, I've had to stop at that little gate back there, down there, to put my crampons on. It was a case of 2 steps forwards, 1 step back. It's a bit better now, I've got some traction, now I've got these things on. Right, well, I'm just going to linger here for a second, get my breath, and then plod on in that direction. Well, we've just got to our campsite, and well, it's become our campsite because the light is fading. You can see the moon above me there. It's a bit windy. I've not got my mic plugged in, so I hope you can hear me. But yeah, I'm going to look for a rock and try and bang the tent pegs into this frozen ground here. Right, see you in a bit. Well, folks, it's approaching 6:30, and my God, what a slog that was up there. It was waist deep, the snow in places, and it took some effort getting through it. We've ended up on the top of Grindslow Knoll. We had no choice really. By the time we got up here, the sun had gone down, it was getting dark. I thought it was too dangerous to continue. You know, it's bad enough when you could see where you were going, never mind in the dark. So we came up here because there is a fairly flat part at the top, but there's no shelter. And to make things worse, the ground is absolutely frozen. We've had to hammer our tent pegs in, and there's bedrock as well underneath in places. So my tent is not the tautest, especially on this corner here, but the wind's coming from that way, so I'm not too bothered about that. I can't be bothered messing around with it anymore. Well, I've kind of got a few things sorted. Got me sleeping pad inflated. I've got my sleeping bag lofting up. A few other bits and bats that I need to sort out. And yeah, I just thought I'd stop for a minute and turn my thoughts to, you guessed it, a tin of McEwan's Champion 7.3. Now tonight's beer is courtesy of Phil, Johnny and Graham, who very kindly donated to my Buy Me a Beer fund. So cheers lads. Whoa, smells good. Well, everybody at home, good health and cheers. Hey, by gum, that's good beer. Oh, it's a frothy one as well, that. Got a few drops all over me. Right, well, it's cold as well, it's been in snow. I might bring the beer inside. I'm going to drink this. Get my thoughts together, because even though it's pitch black, freezing cold, and the wind's howling, it's still my favourite part of the camp, this. So I'm going to drink this. I've got some food with me, but it could be another one where I can't be bothered cooking. I'm just glad to have some shelter. Well, I'm going to get back to this, and I'll see you in a bit. Almost 1 can later since I last spoke to you. And I'm about to open another, but I'd just give you an update. As you can see, I've got my legs in my sleeping bag and I'm sat up. It's bloody cold. And I forgot to say, I'm not on my own. I'm with Michael. I'll get him on camera tomorrow. To be honest, I've not done a great deal of filming on way up. I think I mentioned before, the snow drifts in places. You're just walking along and literally, boom, up to your waist. And there was a couple of occasions where I had to dig myself out with trekking poles. Oh, the joys of wild camping, the joys of snow camping. Well, it started raining. I don't know if it's ice or rain. I'm not bothered if it is rain because it might melt all this snow from way back down. But it was getting a bit dicey on the way up here. As I said, we had snow drifts bloody up to our waist in parts, and the light was going, and we got up to the top of Grindslow Knoll. We didn't set off till 1:30. I was waiting for Michael. I got to the car park at about 1:45, and I waited till 1:30, and I just sent him a message. I said, like, I'm going. I'll see you up there. And as I was coming up Grindslow Knoll, I turned round and I could see a figure right down in the bottom of the valley near Edale. And I had a signal. So I sent a message, and it was Michael. So I don't know if you know the path that goes up Grindslow Knoll, but there's a stone pillar, and instead of going straight up Grindslow Knoll, you can turn left, and it's a bit easier. You go up to a little gate and then round the side. Originally, because of the wind, we thought it'd be too windy up Grindslow Knoll, so we thought about going to the Woolpacks. But it took so long getting through those snow drifts. By the time we got to the gate, the sun had gone down and the light was going. So we struggled up to the main edge path, where you can turn left to head towards Crowden and the Woolpacks. And we were talking, and I just said, you know, it's bloody dangerous enough in the daylight. I don't want to be doing this in dark. And we made a decision. We thought, we'll go up to Grindslow Knoll, and if there's a place to pitch, we'll pitch there. But if not, we'll sack it off and go back. And I can't remember the last time I sacked off camp, so I was dead reluctant to do that. Anyway, we got up here and we found a couple of places, but the ground is absolutely frozen. And one of my subscribers, Tim, he was saying he was up here last night, and he said, get yourself a rock because you're going to need it to hammer the pegs in. And he was right. My God, it took about 30 whacks with a rock. to get each peg in, and the places where I think there must have been a bit of bedrock under, you can't see because everything's covered in snow. So some of the pegs aren't, you know, stretched out, making the tent taut. Most of them are okay. That one in the front corner is not so good. Yeah, a few of them around the guy lines, around the edges of the tent, are not great either, but sod it. I don't think the winds are going to get, well, the wind gusts are going to get particularly strong tonight. I think it said something like a max of 45. So we should be okay, apart from tent pegs flying out in the night, but if they fly out, I'm going to pick them up in the morning. But as I was saying, I didn't do a great deal of filming on my way up here, because it was a struggle and we were racing against the daylight. I didn't even show me arriving at the campsite like I normally do, or putting my tent up on a time lapse. It was just a case of shivering, hammering tent pegs in with a frozen rock, and just getting out of the wind. So what I'll do in the morning when there's a bit more daylight, before I take my tent down, I'll show you our campsite and where we've pitched. It's about, I don't know, it must be getting on for about 7:30 now. But I was just saying to Michael, this could be another camp where I don't make any food. The thought of getting my stove out and moving from where I am now, where I'm nice and warm, just doesn't appeal to me. Beer has quite a few calories in it, and it's packed with vitamins A and D. And I bet there's some minerals in there. So, yeah, it could just be a liquid supper. I've got some sweets with me. I can munch on those. But I'm just not hungry. Normally it's the beer that makes me hungry. But I'm just so grateful to be out of that wind. Well, I am going to get another tin of beer. Right, I'll just crack this open. Whoa, smells as good as the last one. Well, everybody, tin number 2. Good health and cheers all. Hey, by gum, that's still good beer. Right, well, I'm going to slurp this, obviously. Have a bit of a chat with Michael. I might put wireless on, see if there's any comedy on. Oh, it's getting a bit chilly. Well, it's probably because I've just drunk that. Down here to the side of me, in my high-tech food bag. Specialised camping bag, you can get them from Tesco's. Quite inexpensive. There it is. But yeah, in here I've got a Peshwari naan, some curry and some rice, pilau rice lurking in there somewhere, but it's too cold to cook. Right, I'll get back to my beer and I'll see you all later. I just thought I'd give you an update. Let me just turn this wireless down a little bit. There we go, that'll do. Probably been okay where it is, because I've got the microphone here, so it probably didn't pick the radio up, so I didn't need to do that. I'm waffling. It's just gone 9 o'clock. I've had 2 tins of beer. I've got 2 tins left. And although I've had nothing to eat today, however, I have got some food with me that doesn't require any water or cooking or anything. Yay! The healthy option. What are these? Squashies drumsticks, strawberry and banana. Although can't be strawberry, they're blue and yellow. Must be blueberry and banana. I just picked them up in garage when I stuck a tenner's worth of petrol in my car to get over here. Well, let's get stuck in. That's tricking my brain into thinking that I've eaten some food. I'll just wash it down. Oh, hey, by gum, that's still good beer. Oh. Well, I've still got another 2 tins of beer left. I've got some healthy food. I don't know if I'm getting fitter or just getting used to it. These days, that don't faze me going up a big hill with the weight on my back, but going through those snowdrifts, that really took it out here. It was hard work. Most of the time, it was, approaching knee deep. But there was quite a few times where, boom, right up to my waist, and I couldn't move. I'd get my trekking poles, dig myself out, make a little channel to get out. That happened about half a dozen times. It was knackering. I'm going to get back to my beer and my healthy food and listening to wireless, and I'll bring you back later. There's not really much I can show you. I didn't take any pictures while I was putting the tent up. Getting some shelter was the priority, and it was dark anyway, so the pictures would have been a bit on the rubbish side. And what I'll do in morning to make up for not taking any pictures tonight is before I collapse my tent and pack it all away, I'll get out when it's daylight and I'll take a few pictures and do a bit of video so you can see the campsite. Well, as I said, I'm going to get back to my beer, my food, listen to wireless, and I'll speak to you later. What to do when winter camping and it's dark for 14 to 16 hours? What do we think? I know. Tin number 3. Good old fall and cheers. What to do when winter camping? Like it's any different from when I'm out in the summer. Time for an update. It's just gone 10 o'clock and I think it's time for a nightcap. So, here comes tin number 4. Thanks once again to all my subscribers who donated to my Buy Me a Beer fund. I really appreciate it. Thanks, lads. Good health, everybody, and cheers. Oh, hey, by gum, that's good beer. I'm gonna get stuck into this. Might have some more of my healthy food. And I'll bring you back when I'm bedding down. See you later.
BBC News at midnight. This is Ron Brown.
It's midnight, folks. I've drank all my beer. I've just finished it. And I'm about to get my head down. The wind has picked up a little bit. But it's not too bad. That's what I'm telling myself. I'm looking forward to a nice, relaxing sleep as the gusts blow my tent around. And if I think about it, I'm slightly worried about my pegs. They might work loose, but I've had worse things happen to me. Well, on that note, I'm going to get my head down. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to a bit of a kip. I probably sleep better on a hill than what I do at home, to be honest. And if I'm being more honest, it's warmer in this tent than it is in my flat. I've also got to that point where now I'm getting my head down and I've had a few beers. I'm thinking, oh, I'd love to get my stove out now and have a curry with pilau rice and a naan bread. But I just can't be bothered. I've had some sweets. I'm not really hungry, it's just beer-fueled food greed. It's not like I've walked thousands of miles coming up bloody Kinder Scout. And yeah, I've got plenty of blubber. My body can live off that. That's what it's there for, isn't it? Perfectly natural. And a bonus, I can eat that curry rice and naan bread tomorrow afternoon when I get back home. Free meal, hey! Anyway, on that note, I'm going to get my head down, turn lights off, put radio on timer, and I'll see you in the morning, and hopefully I'll get some pictures of our campsite. I'm not going out taking pictures, even with a flash tonight. Anyway, on that note, I'll see you all in the morning. Good night, folks. Good morning, all. It's just before 8 o'clock, just before dawn. And I think there may have been a bit of snow last night. Normally, first thing I'd do is get a brew on, but I think I'll get my boots on and step outside and see if there has been some snow. Oh yes, there's been a bit of snow. Well, it definitely wasn't rain last night. There's tons of snow around. Brrr. It's a bit chilly as well. Sun's not up. Not that you'd be able to see it anyway. Right, well, I'm going to dive back in my tent and get a brew on. Whoa. Get warm. We'll see you in a bit. Time to get a brew on. That's my morning brew made. I'll just grab it. Oh. Oh, that's nice. Very welcome. Yeah, it's totally whited out outside. I'm going to drink my brew, come round, wake up a bit, and then turn my thoughts to packing away. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to get back to my brew and listen to news on wireless. See you all in a bit. Well, that's me, all suited and booted with my bag on, ready for the off. Just waiting for Michael to drop his tent. But while I'm waiting, where my trekking poles are, just there, that's where I had my tent, and I'm doing my usual look around for any tent pegs, or more importantly, any little bits of rubbish. Yeah, as Michael just said, if we can see anything, everything's covered in snowdrifts.
I'm completely Very.
It got a bit windy last night as well. The tent was rocking, but that Tetri of mine, it's turned out to be a really inexpensive winter tent. If you're on a budget and you can't afford something like a Hilleberg, then I recommend one of those Outkit Tetris. Obviously, they're not as good as a Hilleberg, but you know, if you don't go camping out in stupid winds, it's perfectly adequate. Right, well, I'll put this camera away, wait for Michael, get my glove back on because my hand's freezing. And I don't know if we're going to go straight down or the way that we came up. Depends how deep the snowdrifts are. Could be quite treacherous going straight down, but we'll probably give it a go. Well, I don't think there's any views to show you. It's a complete whiteout. Visibility is about 20 yards. If there are any views, I will show them to you. Otherwise, I'll speak to you when I'm a bit lower down, when I'm out of this ferocious, cold, icy wind. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Well, there's not much to show you in the way of views. That was it. Still plodding on though through this snow. It's taking a bit longer than, well, when there isn't any snow. I don't know if you can see down there some trees. There's Herdsman's Plantation. So we're getting lower down. The snow, again, it's worse than it was yesterday on the way up. We've been waist deep in it on the way down. Quite good fun. Right, well, I'll put this camera away because there's a tricky bit coming up that gets a bit steep and I need to concentrate on my footing. So I'll speak to you in a bit. Well, that's us down off the tops. Got me trekking poles away and I've got me spikes just draped over the top of them. That was a lovely walk in that snow. Surprisingly, when we were coming down the path from Grindslow Knoll, 3 young girls who weren't really what I would call appropriately dressed for the conditions, but they had spirit. They were heading up there and we stopped and had a bit of a chat with them, and I was saying to them, you know, you want to watch it as you get up there. It starts to get knee deep and then it gets waist deep, and I said to them, you know, there's no shame in turning around if it gets too much. We stopped, had a bit of a chat, and then they went on the way. Then we passed another couple of lads. Again, little rucksacks on, not what I would call appropriately dressed for the conditions, but who am I to judge? And we said the same thing to them. Well, we're just getting back into Edale, and what I'll do is I'll have a little chat with you as I'm walking down. See you in a bit. I'm walking back to the car park. But what a cracking camp that was for the first week of 2025. Well, I hope everybody's had a good 2024. Last year was pretty good for me. Had lots of camps, lots of multi-day camps. Went out with some great people, had a right laugh. Yeah, and visited quite a few places. I'm hoping this year's going to be the same. Now, I'm going to mention something which I don't normally mention, and that's subscribers. Very rarely do you hear me say, subscribe to my video. But on the note of subscribers, I think this time last year, I had about 700 subscribers. And I've doubled that now. I'm like, last time I looked, 1.53. And I'm really proud of that because for that fact that I never asked people to subscribe. Everyone who's subscribed to my channel, thank you, because you're genuine subscribers. Well, I'm making my way down to the car park, as I said before, and I'll have a little word with you when I get back to the car. But for the moment, I'm going to plod on. Well, that's me back at the car, back in Edel car park. And what a cracking start to 2025 that was. A snow camp. And wow, there was a lot of snow and wind. It was brutal, as Dave Goodman would say. When he's taking mickey out of people who say, it's brutal. Well, my main concern now is I hope the road that goes over Mantor is open, that gets you onto Russia Pedge. Otherwise, I'm buggered. I don't know how I'm going to get home. Well, I'm just going to say cheerio to Michael. Well, Michael, what a cracking camp, mate. Really enjoyed it.
Aye, that was strenuous that a bit.
It was. Yeah, especially going through all those snowdrifts.
Oh, yeah.
Takes it out of you, yeah. But good fun. Really enjoyed it. Another cracking camp. All right, mate, I'll see you again. Well, I'm about to get all this kit off, chucking it back at car, and hopefully start the drive home if I can get over that road that goes over Mantor. But before I take all this kit off, I just want to say thanks for watching and for all your support last year. I really appreciate it. Well, there's no further to say. Apart from, I'll say it again, thanks for watching. And I'll look forward to your comments because I do enjoy reading those and replying to them. Well, on that note, I'm going to get this kit off now. And I'll say until next time, when I see you for another Hengist Wild Camps, it's cheerio from me. Bye all.